morning, distinguished visitors, honored guests, and all attendees. Welcome to today's Change of Command ceremony, where Lt Col Jamila Fitzpatrick will relinquish command and Lt Col Michael Boyer will assume command of the 6th Airlift Squadron. I am Master Sergeant Colin Sensi, your Master of Ceremonies for today. Throughout military history, soldiers in the field oftentimes could not identify their own commanders. Recognizing this problem, the Continental Army of the United States conducted the first official change of command ceremony. Today, just as in the past, the formal change of command allows airmen to witness the actual transfer of command between two officers and see their new commander firsthand. The change of command also adds color and pageantry to the military life through the transfer of the symbolic unit guidon, while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. Shortly, the 6th Airlift Squadron guidon will be passed from Lt Col Fitzpatrick to Lt Col Boyer, signifying the official change of command. Throughout today's ceremony, you'll be given various cues to stand and be seated. As a reminder, civilian guests should place their right hand over their heart during the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Lieutenant Andrea Pongras and the invocation by Chaplain Meade Adams.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. In the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the blessing of this occasion. We first thank you for the service of Lt Col Jamila Fitzpatrick and for the leadership she has given to the 6th Airlift Squadron. We thank you for her commitment to integrity, to service, and to excellence. Bless her and her family as they transition to their new assignment and opportunity. Keep your hand on her husband, Keith, and her sons, Colin and Eamon. Bless everything that Colonel Fitzpatrick touches and enable her to prosper as she advances the mission to fly, fight, and win. And now, God, we thank you for Lt Col Michael Boyer, who will be taking over this great unit that provides airlift support in critical missions all over the world. I pray now for your blessing upon him. Bless his going out and his coming in. Bless everything he touches, that he may prosper as he leads this unit to further greatness. We also ask that you bless his family, his wife, Jennifer Grace, their son, Jack, and their daughters, Ingrid and Isla, as we know that there is no success without their support. And finally, we ask that you bless the airmen, the NCOs, the senior NCOs, and the officers of the 6th Airlift Squadron that Colonel Boyer will lead. May they be good followers and support Colonel Boyer in the vision that he has for this unit. We thank you for his commitment, his dedication, his service, and for his success. We ask it in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Lieutenant Pongras and Chaplain Adams. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, we would like to recognize our distinguished guests. The presiding officer, the commander, 305th Operations Group, Colonel Michelle Lobianco. The commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Scott Viederholt and his wife, Pam. The Command Chief, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant David Colson. The Vice Wing Commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Timothy Mock. The Commander, 305th Maintenance Group, Colonel Mary Teeter. The Commander, 6th Airlift Squadron, Lt Col Jamila Fitzpatrick, her husband Keith, their sons Colin and Eamon, her father and mother Diab and Crystal Hamad, and from virtual land her sister Tanya Hamad. The incoming Commander, 6th Airlift Squadron, Lt Col Michael Boyer, his wife Jennifer Grace, their son Jack, and daughters Ingrid and Isla, his parents Keith and Ann Boyer, his uncle and aunt Dave and Rita Strickler, and from virtual land, his brother Major Chris Steele Boyer, and his father-in-law and mother-in-law Jenny and Randall Williams. We also welcome all commanders, chiefs, honorary commanders, first sergeants, civilians, and all other visitors who have been so kind to join us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 305th Operations Group, Colonel Lobianco.
I would like to thank the entire team that made this change of command happen today. There's a lot of work that goes into this, from the coordination on the airfield to the use of the hangar to all the behind-the-scenes things to make it all work. It's a lot of effort, and you guys don't really get the applause that you deserve. But this doesn't happen without a team of awesome individuals. Also, that was LT, that beautiful voice. Thank you, Chaplain. Thank you for the words. Truly professional. Thanks for the leadership that continues to support all of us in the Can-Do Wing. Nice shout out here to our AMC leaders, General Minahan, General Robinson, General Lenderman, and General Cole for their support. Our 18th Air Force Commander, Major General Bibb, and of course our wing leadership, Colonel Wiederholtz, Colonel Mock, Chief Colson. Our teammates in the 305th, you're outstanding. We can't do what we do without everybody working together. So, Colonel Teeter, your maintenance team, for generating aircraft every day so that we can fly, generate, and deliver anything, anytime, anywhere. Thank you. Thank you very much. And what I'm excited about is that we're all here today. It's been a long time since we've done this, and it's pretty amazing. I still see Mr. Polimus in the back working the magic with it, which is awesome. But 2 years ago, we did all that, but it was virtual and it was streamed. It's still streamed, which we're not losing some of those lessons, which is awesome. But it's nice to be able to come back together and to celebrate one of our oldest traditions and to give credit where credit is due. A warm welcome to our family. Today is a special day for both Lieutenant Colonel Fitzpatrick and Lieutenant Colonel Boyer. Thank you for sharing this experience and celebrating the closing of one chapter and the beginning of the next for the Bully Beef. To Keith, Colin, and Eamon, today is also very special. Remember 2 years ago I told you that you were about to embark on a really cool adventure. And what you did is you supported her and you anchored her. And I appreciate that. And I know that it wasn't always easy, Mommy being gone as much as she was. But you did a really good job. And thank you very much, boys. You're amazing. And now it's time, Keith, for you to get back to your hobbies. I know you have them. Let's pick them back up and celebrate them. I think you'll have a little bit more free time on your hands. Maybe. I don't know. PhD program's kind of a lot as well. But that's what she is. She's constantly excelling and pushing it to the next level. Jennifer, Grace, Jack, Ingrid, and Isla, welcome to the Beef. I'm going to ask you a question. Are you ready? Are you ready, kiddos? Yeah, excited. I saw you crawling all over that jet earlier. That's amazing. You're going to love it. You're going to get a lot of that. And you should be ready to be welcomed to an amazing family, a family in the beef that's grounded in excellence and commitment to one another. It will be an adventure of a lifetime, I promise you that, and enjoy it because it will go by fast. And I know it will take a lot of his time, but it is absolutely, truly worth it. Those airmen are worth it, and so are you. Now on to today. Today I have the honor of conducting one of our oldest traditions, the change of command, in the Air Force's oldest airlift squadron, and celebrating two outstanding leaders, two leaders that I've known for a really long time. What an honor it is to watch them both grow into the inspirational leaders that you see here before you today. First, I'd like to share a little bit with you about Lt Col Fitzpatrick and the legacy that she leaves. Jamila is a veteran of McGuire. All roads lead back to McGuire. We know that. Been here twice. Third time could be the charm. We'll see. You're not leaving just yet. She was our Chief of Safety prior to command. She's also a graduate of Air Command and Staff College, a graduate of the School of Advanced Air and Space Studies. She's got a really big brain, is what I'm getting at, and she's going to do her PhD next. She's also served in NATO in multiple roles, and she was here previously serving in the beef. That experience prepared her for what you and the beef accomplished over the last 2 years, and what a 2 years it has been. Over the last 2 years, the beef has been the highest tasked C-17 squadron in AMC. They have flown over 11,000 hours, moved 27,000 passengers, and 75 million pounds of cargo, all while being tasked to completely change our training to ready ourselves for the next peer fight, all without explicit guidance, funding, or resourcing. You got it. The innovation that came from the squadron has led to a collaboration amongst all the C-17 squadrons in a collective effort to move us all forward. In my 22 years in the Air Force, I have never seen an organic shift of this proportion happen in such a short amount of time. It is because of you and your abilities to forge great relationships amongst her peers, to negotiate shared mutual interests that the bully beef will be ready in a few short months to take on our adversaries. The culture is shifting, and they will be ready to generate violence, deliver hope, and to win. In her time in command, there were many standouts. Her team garnered the Aircrew of the Year for 2020 and 2022 for enabling a hostage rescue in Niger, and then executed the largest single evacuation of any kind in the C-17. When it was all said and done, the beef rescued 4,900 people from Afghanistan that now have freedom and the chance to realize their dreams, the actual right to self-determination without fear of oppression. Additionally, I do want to point out that that the new way of training, the Tactics Advancement course, is now in full swing. This complete change in mindset to yes if is exactly what the beef needs to succeed. And although you will not be here as their leader when they embark on this adventure in October, you need to realize that that is what command is like. And Mike, going into command, you need to know this as well. You plant seeds, you care and feed, and you watch as they grow roots. Your job was to take that seed, to see the forest even before you planted it. And now you need to have patience. You guide, coach, and mentor, push a bit, own the mistakes yourself, and share in their successes. And there are so many operational successes. But I do want to point out that her true success was her ability to serve her airmen. For her, it was always been, and it always will be, people first, because the people are our mission. They're the ones that make it matter. She's one of the most emotionally intelligent leaders I have known. She builds trust and fostered an environment in the beef that is welcoming, supportive of each other, and committed. The last 2 years have been difficult. COVID did not make it easy to connect, but that was just a challenge that she successfully overcame. So, as chapter 66 closes of the bully beef history, she's a 66th commander, -1, by the way. She's the first female commander in the beef. I asked your people to describe you and what you leave behind. And I need you to understand and truly hear what they said and feel about you as their leader. Are you ready to hear these words? Okay. They said, Lieutenant Colonel Fitzpatrick was the leader the beef needed to excel and succeed through the pandemic. Throughout these trying times, she took the time to personally get to know each member of the squadron. She epitomizes servant leadership, a combat airlift focus, and made the beef a great squadron to serve in. Congratulations on a job well done. And in a few short moments, Chapter 67 begins. It begins with Lieutenant Colonel Mike Boyer. But even before that, it begins with what does the 6th Airlift Squadron need to succeed further? They need someone who has the experience in strategic planning for the next fight. They need someone with PACAF experience. They need someone who will continue to care for them and push them to be the best airmen they can be. And that is who Lieutenant Colonel Boyer is. I met Lieutenant Colonel Boyer a few years ago at the Heavy Airlift Wing in Hungary when they first started up and they needed guest help. So they had a bunch of IPs coming in from all over the place. At the time, he was in Hawaii and I was an instructor at Altus. They were still trying to set up their operations, and Mike was all over it as a young captain. He sees a leadership hole, and he absolutely has to fill it. He's guided by what is right for our airmen and what is right for our Air Force. He is, and this is what the beef has now said about you, so these are high expectations that you will have to live up to in the next 2 years. No pressure. He is highly experienced in the C-17 and leading teams across PACAF and the Air Force regarding agile combat employment and what it takes for the mobility air forces to fly, fight, and win in future conflicts. The beef is excited for him to lead them during the upcoming changes across the Air Force and AMC. He will accelerate change to win, and I ask that all of you in the beef hear him. And Mike, I ask you to hear them. Together you will build a stronger and better team. And I know what you're all thinking. How is that even possible? We're amazing. And I couldn't agree more. But we are all lifelong learners, and this story does not and will not have an end. It will go on past chapter 67, 68, and beyond. We don't know where it will end, but I don't think it ever will. There is more to do and more to become. My charge to you is that chapter 67 will be the best yet, and you are ready. Ready to fly, generate, and deliver. Take care of your airmen first and always. The mission that they are so proud of will take care of itself. I look forward to your tenure, the passion and earnest desire you bring to your airmen and their families. I look forward to serving with you. Welcome and best of luck to you. And remember, make it matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Lobianco. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Jamila W. Fitzpatrick for meritorious service, 21 June 2019 to 16 May 2022. Lieutenant Colonel Jamila W. Fitzpatrick distinguished herself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 6th Airlift Squadron, 305th Operations Group, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, New Jersey. During this period, Colonel Fitzpatrick overcame the challenges presented by the coronavirus pandemic, expertly leading 154 airmen. She ensured the execution of over 11,000 flying hours, airlifting 27,000 passengers and 75 million pounds of cargo in support of national security objectives, and was instrumental to the success of Operation Allies Refuge. She guided 29 evacuation missions, including the record-breaking transport of 823 souls in a single flight, transporting over 4,900 evacuees to safety and delivering critical security personnel to secure a severely degraded Hamid Karzai International Airport. Under her command, the Bully Beef distinguished themselves as Air Mobility Command's most highly tasked C-17 squadron and was the White House Military Office's squadron of choice to fulfill presidential movement requirements. Finally, Colonel Fitzpatrick invested heavily in each member to build a culture that empowered airmen of all ranks and prioritized effective combat training. Her strategic vision drove readiness reporting and training improvements across Air Mobility Command, increasing the lethality of combat airlift and enabling more accurate risk assessments at the major command level. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Fitzpatrick reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Please be seated. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Fitzpatrick would like to present her husband and 2 sons with a gift and her parents with flowers as a sign of gratitude for their support during her time in command. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 6th Airlift Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Fitzpatrick.
Is that good? Okay. I had to write notes. Sorry, because there's no way I'm going to get through this without notes. So here we go. First, good morning, fellow commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, family, friends, and most importantly, to members of the Bully Beef, both past and present. Thank you for joining us here today. Thank you so much to everybody who made this ceremony possible. Events like this really do take an incredible amount of work and effort beyond everyone's normal daily duties, and I really do appreciate all the hard work and effort that went into making today possible. Thank you to Captain James Conlin for leading this effort, also IP and Exec Extraordinaire, Master Sergeant Colin Sensi for the narration, Chief Ricketts, Sergeant Ramsey, Captain Elizabeth Voigt, Captain John Brooks, Tech Sergeant Jacob Giacchino, Captain Trey Alexander, Captain Rachel Myers, and A1C Sarah Larson, and all the other members of the Beef who contributed their time and effort. Thank you to the 305th Maintenance Team, especially to Mr. Perino for the coordination and Major Harmon for the use of her aircraft and her hangar, and to the team who donated their time to move the aircraft into place and make this hangar sparkle. Usually, I think it does look like this all the time, right, ma'am? Usually, yeah. They made it look extra special today. And Mr. Mike Boyer, thank you for making the virtual option possible yet again. Chaplain Adams, thank you for that meaningful invocation and all the support you've provided me personally and to the Beef as a whole over the past year. You treat every airman with love and respect, and I appreciate your deep spirituality and your inclusive approach to all airmen. Lieutenant Pongras, thank you for that absolutely beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and also for being a force of nature, both as a lieutenant and as a leading member of the 6th Airlift Squadron Spouse Social Club. I sincerely thank you all. So I would be remiss if I didn't start today by thanking my incredible family. To my sweet boys, Colin, hey buddy, and Eamon, hey Eamon. He's like, I don't know, this is a lot. So Daddy and I are so proud of you, and we love you. Hey Colin, we love you so very, 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 and many more varies much. You bring so much more joy and meaning to my life than I could have ever imagined. You didn't choose this life, but thank you for throwing yourselves into it so enthusiastically and for showing me how much joy there is in the everyday. Keith, I'm going to try to get through this one looking at you this time. You are the ultimate teammate. You challenge me, you support me, and you make me a better person. You are the best man I know, and if our boys grow up to be half the man you are, our job as parents will have been well done. We set out to leave it all out on the table and end this 2-year journey stronger than we started. Thank you for making that happen. Thank you for making our relationship a priority, for our beautiful children, and for continuing to be as excited as I am about this sometimes crazy Air Force adventure. Mom and Dad, you taught by example what hard work and dedication and determination can achieve, and I am incredibly proud to be your daughter. Thank you for always supporting me, no matter if you really totally understood what exactly it is I wanted to do or why I wanted to do it, but you were there no matter what, and there's no way I'd be here today without your love and support. I love you guys. To the friends who have become family, Thank you so much for coming today. Colin and the entire Speaker clan, your love means everything to us. Thank you for choosing to be our family. Tim and Nicole, you've been there with us both since the start of this crazy Air Force C-17 adventure, and you know all the stories. Shh, don't tell. Thank you for being our biggest cheerleaders and for always just showing up and helping without being asked. You just know we need the help and you just show up every time, and we cannot thank you enough for that. Lindsay, you're my original sister in arms. Thank you for your enthusiastic support and believing in me right from the start before I even believed in myself. Ida and Jessica, thank you for your sisterhood. You've known me since the beginning when I started this thing called ROTC, been there through it all, and you're home to me. Ali and Batul, thank you for taking our children into your home. When the pandemic hit, we had nowhere to turn, and your generosity and your love have transformed our lives, and we will never be able to thank you enough for what you've done for our family and for loving our children the way we do. Okay. To all our friends, family, and mentors who have taken the time to join us here today or in virtual land, it's truly an honor to share this day with you. Thank you so much for your continued love and support. I especially want to thank Colonel Mark Green, Colonel Joe Vanoni, Colonel Danielle Willis, Colonel Beth Horing, and Lieutenant Colonel Liz Scott. Thank you for your mentorship, always giving me the unvarnished truth, and always answering my phone calls. Lois, Teresa, and Merle, thank you for cheering me on and making sure I took care of myself. Colonel Weirholt, sir, thank you for the privilege of command and for the tremendous trust that you have placed in me over the last 2 years. Colonel Mock, sir, thank you for your candor, your patience, and your accessibility. You have been a fantastic sounding board, and I respect and appreciate your willingness to mentor and receive feedback. Thank you for all the texts, calls, emails, and chats. Colonel LoBianco, ma'am, thank you for trusting me, for letting me lead my way, and for making me better. You are a fierce advocate for our airmen, provided decisive leadership, and held us as commanders accountable to very high standards. Thank you for your leadership and for showing me by example that the terms mom and commander are complementary rather than in conflict. The 15th Wing is really lucky to get you next. To Colonel Tiener and the maintenance group, thank you for your partnership, for always leaning forward, for the long hours on the flight line and in the back shop to make sure we had the best aircraft possible. Your professionalism and expertise keeps us safe, and there's no way we could execute our mission without you. To the Deputy Ops Group commanders, there's one of them. There's the other one. There's the other one. Okay. To the Deputy Ops Group commanders, Mr. P and Higmo, and now Mr. Rowe and Domo, thank you for letting me vent, for advocating at the staff levels, for your encyclopedic knowledge of all things joint basing and civilian personnel, and for doing so much of the heavy staff work lift required to advocate for resources so that I could focus on command. To our reserve partners in the 514th and the 732nd, thank you for your cooperation, insight, and so generously sharing your experienced crew force with the Beef. I will be forever grateful for your willingness to work together when the Beef were faced with some pretty unique challenges over the past 2 years. To all the civilians in the wing staff and group agencies, Margaret, Eileen, Chris, Stu, Ken Holloway, and the Upstairs Mafia, it was my privilege to work with you all a second time. Your long years of service have only sharpened your focus on the airmen working the line, and I have always appreciated your mission-focused mentalities. Thank you all for your continued hard work and dedication, often behind the scenes, to keep the trains running and getting the airmen what they need. To my fellow squadron commanders, I'm gonna just look, I see many there back there, Marianne, Yeti, maintenance dudes, dudettes. Where's Katie? Raise your hand, Katie. Okay, there we go. All right, I gotta look at the people. To my fellow squadron commanders, Retro, Gabby, I am beyond honored to have counted myself among your peers, and to be able to call you not only colleagues, but friends. Watching your leadership, commitment, and expertise made me work harder every day. I am in awe of how deeply you all care for your airmen and will be forever grateful to you for your teamwork and get-to-yes mentalities. I can't imagine a better group of leaders to have commanded with, and I genuinely hope I have the pleasure of serving with you all again someday. To the Warfighting Modernization Council, both past and present, thank you for being a safe harbor in a storm and having my back. You dudes will always be my brothers, and I'll be on your team any day, anytime. You just name the time and place, and I'm there. Katie and Kaylee, thank you for your sisterhood, your candor, and your perspectives. I could not have asked for a better maintenance counterpart in you, Katie. The dedication you and your team show every single day to getting us the best jets possible is absolutely inspiring. You know what's important, you know how to hump it, and I respect the heck out of you and your bulldogs. I am truly blessed to not only have been in the trenches of command with you both, but to have also made 2 new friends for life. To the commanders of the Airland Triumvirate, SWAT, Postal, and Doom, thank you for your teamwork, for always answering my calls, and for doing the hard work together to advance our collective combat readiness. They say command is lonely, and in some ways, that is true. But for me, command has been the ultimate team sport, and I have to say, this is one heck of a team. So for those who don't know, I was a rower in college, and one of the most profound experiences you can have is to be rowing in an 8-person boat where you know it in your bones that every other person in that boat has individually done the incredibly hard work to be the best possible version of themselves, to be there in that space and time, pulling as hard as they possibly can to make that boat faster. It's a moment of pure magic where you can feel 8 other humans in perfect harmony, literally giving every ounce of sweat and blood that they have while adjusting to the rhythm and the needs of the other 7 rowers in that boat to make that boat fast. There's a special sound. It's a whoosh, is the best way I can describe it, that comes when 8 people row in perfect harmony to make that boat excellent. It's an exceptional and very rare experience, even for boats at the absolute top of their games. That whoosh, that special sound that you get from being part of a high-performing team in pursuit of excellence and something important is what we have here in the Beef. To the Bully Beef, it is the greatest honor and privilege of my professional life to serve alongside you. Everyone else has listed off all these numbers, so these sort of stole my thunder a little bit, but it's important and you guys should be proud and you should know what you have accomplished, so I'm going to say it again. Over the past 2 years, we have flown 11,000 hours, 27,000 passengers, and 75 million pounds of cargo in support of national security objectives. We have been and remain the #1 of all C-17 units relied upon for presidential airlift support, as well as the highest tasked C-17 unit across the command. We flew COVID response and hostage rescue support, dignified transfer, medevac, and hurricane response missions. We also repatriated ISIS fighters from Syria to stand trial, and we closed down Afghanistan after 20 years of conflict. I haven't even gotten to OAR yet. All right. On top of all of that, we flew 29 missions in support of Operation Allies Refuge, rescuing 4,900 souls and making strategic level impacts. There is no more righteous cause than to alleviate the suffering of another human being, and we did that on a massive scale. And we continue to generate violence and deliver hope in support of NATO and the Ukraine at this very moment. There's 17 people in my squadron right now, and they're all here, and everybody else is out there hacking the mish. For these efforts, we have been recognized both individually and as a group at every level of command, starting at the group all the way up to the Secretary of Defense and the senatorial and congressional levels. While these accomplishments are shared by all, it can be really easy to miss the individual daily efforts required to build that kind of success. Every single one of us, starting with the most junior airman and lieutenant, made the daily choice to take care of each other and do the hard work to be a little bit better every day. That's how you get and sustain excellence. It's through those individual decisions to say, I can be better tomorrow than I am today, and I'm going to look to my left over there, and I'm going to look to my right, and I'm going to take care of the people that I see like brothers and sisters. I wish we had a little bit more time. I know I've been going on for a minute here. I wish we did have a little bit more time for me to list out the incredible efforts of each person in the Beef. Every person in this room right now, I could look at your face and tell you exactly what it is that you have accomplished specifically for the beef. But I would be remiss if I didn't make a few individual thank yous. First, I want to thank the families. You are the backbone of what we do every day, doing the hard and often unrecognized work of taking care of the home and supporting your loved ones. We could literally never do what we do without you, and I am humbled by you and grateful to you for your service. To the Beef Key spouses, where's Sarah? There she is. I think I saw Jana too. There she is. To the Beef Key spouses, thank you for your tenacity, dedication. Melissa Batzer, soon-to-be Key Spouse alumni. Thank you, Melissa. To the Beef Key spouses, thank you for tenacity, dedication, and love for our families and airmen. The last 2 years were made unbelievably difficult by the pandemic and some extremely challenging missions and operational tempo, but we got through because you kept your focus on taking care of the families, showing a compassion for everyone who needed care, which, let's be honest, was pretty much every single person in the unit, considering what's gone on the last 2 years. And so generously sharing and volunteering your own talents and time with the squadron. Thank you. To the beef civilians, both government and contractor, thank you for being the heart and soul of the beef. We often say you're the continuity in the squadron because the aircrew are always coming in and out, and that's usually meant in terms of processes and procedures. And that is true, and while that is true, you are even more importantly the continuity of the culture. The way you treat people with dignity and respect, execute your jobs to an outstanding level of performance, and know how to have fun at work makes the squadron a place people want to be. Thank you all. To the weapons officers, Arson who's deployed, and Shade, thank you for being an example of what humble, credible, and approachable truly are. While I had very high expectations and held you both to very high standards, you blew me away with your work ethic and initiative, achieving results far exceeding my expectations. You both moved the beef's combat capability forward, and I very much look forward to watching you both continue to lead. To the first sergeants of the Bully Beef, Tyler Herzog, Colin Sensi, Troy Ramsey, and Bill Elliott, I could not have been more blessed to have you on this team. While you've all been very unique in your own leadership styles, the one thing that has been consistent is your focus on airmen. Thank you for loving them, taking care of them, and helping me navigate some of the more challenging circumstances. You lighten the load on my heart more than you will ever know, and I will be forever grateful to you all for that. Senior Piper, there he is. Senior Piper, thank you for making work fun. Your professional knowledge and expertise are deep, but you never take yourself too seriously, and you know airmen come first and always. Thank you for always asking how my weekend was and treating all of us, down to the most junior airmen, with that same individualized concern. Chief Ricketts, where'd he end up? There he is, Chief Ricketts. Thank you for hitting the ground running in the beef. We're excited you've joined our team, and I can already tell in the few short weeks you've been here that the beef are in very good hands. Chief Muncie, thank you for your exceptional dedication to excellence. Your high standards of personal and professional performance, sincerity, and thoughtful consideration made me and everyone else around you better. I will be forever grateful to you for helping me find my stride as a new commander and working through all the decisions together as a team. Friends for life now, you'll always be my chief. To my two DOs, Retro and Andy, man, I cannot believe that we got the two of you back to back to lead ops for the beef. You are both incredibly talented professional aviators and leaders who took commander's intent and absolutely ran with it. Thank you for loving the beef enough and trusting me enough to disagree with me and to get to the best answer for the squadron. No one can possibly lead a squadron like this alone, and I thank you both for your professional dissent, teamwork, and leadership. Retro, no surprise, you are killing it as the OSS commander. And Andy, you will make an absolutely exceptional squadron commander when the time comes. Finally, I want to extend a very warm welcome to Lt Col Mike Boyer and his family. Grace, Jack, Ingrid, and Isla, welcome to the Bully Beef family, and thank you for sharing your husband and your dad with us for the next few years. I know you will love your time here as much as Keith and my boys and I did. With his deep operational experience and Indo-PACOM expertise, Mike is the exact right commander to lead the Bully Beef into the next chapter of this squadron's distinguished legacy. I know you are going to lead them well, Mike, and that makes me incredibly excited for the future. Bully Beef and all the men and women who support this squadron, it has truly been an honor to serve with you all. Through every challenge and with every opportunity, the Beef have answered the call and raised the bar for professionalism and performance. And with each success, you all authored the next chapter of this very special squadron's legacy. We face ever-increasing challenges in a dangerous world, but I know, without a doubt, that the Beef will continue to generate violence and deliver hope with courage, excellence, and compassion. I could not be prouder of you all, and my family and I depart today honored to have been counted among your ranks for the past 2 years. All my love, respect, and gratitude to you all. Bully, bully!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Special Order Number G022-0008, dated 16 May 2022. Under the provisions of Air Force Instructions 51-604, and by order of Colonel Michelle A. Lobianco, effective this date, Lt Col Jamila W. Fitzpatrick relinquishes command of the 6th Airlift Squadron, 305th Air Mobility Wing, McGuire Air Force Base, New Jersey, and Lt Col Michael T. Boyer assumes command. Signed, Colonel Michelle A. Lobianco, Commander, 305th Operations Group, 305th Air Mobility Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor to introduce the Commander, 6th Airlift Squadron, Lt Col Michael Boyer.
I'm a little bit taller. Beef, I'm honored to take the guide on. You, this squadron, is changing the course of how we fight, and will continue to lead the joint force in advancing our nation's interest. The era of sustaining operations in a low-intensity conflict is over. The age of adapting to a threat that has outpaced us has begun. Let me be clear. Our job is to win a war against China, a war against Russia, or anyone else that may threaten our Constitution. Together, we will move with a purpose and tackle this challenge. It is my greatest honor and privilege to serve alongside you. I'd like to thank Colonel Wiederholt and Colonel Lobianco and the base leadership for this wonderful opportunity to lead this fighting unit, and to Jamila. Your attention to detail and your continuity has been second to none, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. Thank you. To the staff that has made this event possible, I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. And to my mentors, thank you for believing in me. It is your time that you've invested in me that has sharpened the skills that allow me to stand here today. I'd like to thank my parents. It is your work ethic imprinted upon my brother and I that has allowed us to succeed in life. Thank you. To my brother Chris, for always being at my side, regardless of our actual location. And to my children, Jack, Ingrid, Isla, thank you for sharing your daddy for the next 2 years. And last but certainly not least, to my wonderful wife, Grace, for standing by my side and being part of this amazing adventure. Beef, this is about you. We have work to do. Let's go. Bully, bully.
Lieutenant Colonel Boyer would now like to present his wife, son, and daughters with a gift, and his parents with flowers to show his appreciation for their continued love and support as they embark on the journey of command. The members of the 6th Airlift Squadron are delighted to have Lieutenant Colonel Boyer and his family join our military family. The men and women of the 6th Airlift Squadron are proud to have served with Lieutenant Colonel Fitzpatrick and wish her and her family good luck in their next assignment. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Thank you for attending today's ceremony. There will be a receiving line in front of the stage. Everyone is invited to enjoy the reception held in the 6th Airlift Squadron Heritage Room in Building 2202 to congratulate Lieutenant Colonel Boyer.